Okay, so you're trying to figure out what VoIP phone, we'll call it VoIP cloud phone you want to use. Okay, I have used most of them. Okay, I've used Google Voice, like of course, Uma Office, Ring Central, Grasshopper. I haven't used Phone.com, so that's unknown here. My friend uses Phone.com. He likes it, but I don't know enough about it to tell you guys if it's good or not. So here's the deal: if you have a small business and you're just a one man show, you only need one phone. You don't require a corporate phone menu where they say, uh, "Thank you for calling. Please press one for sales" and all that. If you don't need that, then go with Google Voice. The most features. It's free. You get voice to text. It integrates into your Gmail. You can't get any better than Google Voice. Google Voice is the best, and I reluctantly have moved away from it because I need that stupid corporate menu and be able to transfer people and stuff. So you can't do that with Google Voice. It's only intended as like really your home phone, not so much a business phone. I mean, I guess if you're like a realtor or a like a one man show repair guy for plumber fix it person, then Google Voice you could probably do really well with it. But other than that, oh, also Google Voice, you can get it. It's kind of weird. You can get Google Voice for your Google domain. So, like, if you use Google Apps for business, you can have a Google Voice phone number for that business, but it doesn't have any business features. So, I'm hoping in the future they'll incorporate some kind of a voice for business thing. And I think that could really boost um, people using Google Apps for their domain. If they were to offer, Google was to offer that, I'm sure a lot of people would sign up for it because it just so perfectly integrates with your email. So that's in the future. Hasn't happened for a long time, so I'm not holding my breath. Okay, so moving on. Uma Office. If you have multiple people in your office and you need to transfer calls and you have a lot of phone calls where you need to have extensions that people are always using, mm, I don't recommend it. I hate it so much. Okay, why do I hate it? So let's say, okay, here's one thing. You probably don't want to have a big clunky phone on your desk with, the hard landline phone and a cell phone. I prefer to have everything here. I want to know who called me. I can look at apps and see, the history, who texted me, whatever. So that's what Google Voice is great for that again. But Uma Office, there's no app. You and you can't you don't know who's calling you. So if you forward Uma Office to your cell phone, which is advertised on the Uma Office box on their website, works with your cell phone, it shows the caller ID of the person who's calling you, which you think sounds good, but actually you would prefer it to be remasked with your office number because then you don't know who's calling. You get the random customer phone number and you're like, you don't know. Is this like the library calling me? Is this I don't know. Is this a friend who I haven't spoken to a long time calling me? Is this work? Do I just assume every unknown number is work? Is this like a I don't know UPS calling me? I don't know. So I have to assume every call is for work. Now this varies, of course. Different businesses, may have different priority for phone calls, whatever. But for me, I like to know: is it a work call? Is it personal? And with Google Voice, it's easy to mask it and tell instantly. But Uma Office, they don't do that. Their competition does, like Grasshopper lets you do that. Ring Central has an app, but Uma Office, there's no app. There's no remasking of calls to just so your work number. Then that way you could just save your work number and know, oh, okay, this is a work call. It says work. It's very easy to tell. So you may not think about it, but what if you're in the coffee shop and you get a phone call or you're driving? Sometimes you want to answer the phone like you're in front of the computer, or you want to have the computer in front of you to access data for clients. If you don't have that in front of you, you don't want to look like an idiot, while you're with turn signals clicking and you're you're driving, almost getting a ticket, trying to answer the phone, trying to figure out is this a work call or not. That's very annoying. And what's even worse is, let's say you do get a missed work call, they leave a voicemail, and you're like, oh, that's a very important call. I have to call them back. I don't have time to drive back to the office. I'm at home already. Well, with Ooma Office, you have to jump back in your car and drive back to the office to call them because there's no call forwarding app. So if I want to call them back, I have to call them from my home phone number, which might work for like really good clients, but you don't want to be making phone calls with your personal cell phone number to all your customers because there's going to be that one that, who knows, maybe a bridge gets burnt, maybe he's just nuts. Whatever the deal is, you don't want to be calling people from your home phone. That's just idiotic. So Ooma Office, they never thought about this, and you're stuck calling people from your personal cell phone number, which is horrible. I don't recommend it. And then what are they going to do? They're going to Now they have two different phone numbers for you. They're going to be calling one when they should be calling the other. You're going to have a work-related voicemail on your home phone. It's just going to be a mess. And if you're logical, you would not do that. You would not mix everything up like that. So it makes no sense. It drives me nuts. Everything costs more. If you want to add more extensions, it's a lot. I think it's like $20 a month, and every little thing costs more. I think even faxing. I think, yeah, even just to send a fax, you have to have a new dedicated line just for faxing. You can't use your existing one. Um, I don't like that. Okay, and the support is by far the worst. Ooma Office support, I think they're just subcontracting to a company in the Philippines that handles support for many companies because these people know nothing about the product that they support. So I can't stand it. A lot of red flags with Ooma Office. Avoid it. Um, Ring Central, it's good. It has a soft phone, but the way they advertise it, it's really shady. They'll advertise a low price, and then a little small fine print. It's for a year. So if you want to prepay for your service for an entire year, you can go with Ring Central. Their support is better. They have a soft phone, but actually, I found something that I like better, and that is Grasshopper. So, like I said, I've used all these. I don't get paid for this review or anything. I'm just trying to help save you guys, save the world some aggravation. So, okay, the reason I chose Grasshopper was I didn't like it at first, but I kind of like the limited options and simplicity of it because it just makes sense. Okay, you don't pay anything for extensions. You can have 100 extensions. It doesn't matter. You only pay per minute. And if you calculate, it depends on your business. If you guys are on the phone all day long, probably it's not a good idea. Go with something else like Ring Central. But Grasshopper, you just pay month to month. You only pay for the minutes you use, plus I think it's a really low monthly fee. I think it's like $9.99 or $20 or something. But for multiple people, it was the best choice for us, especially because we use low minutes. Um, there's no soft phone. There's no hard landline to plug in. Everything is forwarded to a cell phone or to a phone. Doesn't matter what kind of phone. There is an app. You can call people back. You can transfer people, and you can see who's calling you. You can remask it as your Grasshopper phone number, so you know if it's a work call or not. I've gotten voicemails to text, no cost for extensions. That was a choice for me. I mean, I was sold on it, and it works. And you can actually upload your voicemail intros, and you can upload the phone menu in like a wave format, which you cannot do for your phone intros on Ooma Office. So another point for Grasshopper. Phone.com, I don't know much about it, but I'm really happy with Grasshopper, and I would recommend Grasshopper, and then secondly, Ring Central.